Alright, I'm here to talk about the German Reformation. And in the German Reformation, the main component, or main character really, is Martin Luther. Martin Luther was born in Germany, obviously, and his dad was a miner. His mom was bourgeoisie. And pretty much what happened was he went to law school, was in a storm coming home one time, and prayed to God to get him out of the storm, and if he got out of the storm, he'd be a monk. And so after that, he got out of the storm. He told his friends, I'm going to be a monk. His dad was not happy about that, but he went to be a monk anyways. He was heavily influenced by William of Ockham, who believed in nominalism, which pretty much also said there were two components. One, that man was too far from God, so he couldn't really understand him, and also that you could reach God through individual piety. And so that was one of the important things for Martin Luther, which later translated into a lot of his works. One of the big things from Luther is on October 31st, 1517, Luther posted the 95 Theses on the door of the Castle Church in Wittenberg. And there it pretty much talked about how church indulgences were bad, how the Catholic Church should not use indulgences, and that that practice should be stopped. And meanwhile, he's a professor of theology at the College of Wittenberg, and he's teaching there, and he has a lot of followers, a lot of people respect him for what he's done. Pope Leo gets wind about this, and Pope Leo says, no, stop, you cannot do this. Pope Leo X, by the way. And Martin Luther says, I can talk about this. I'm a professor of theology. What are you talking about? Of course I can do this. So then, luckily, he has Frederick III of Saxony, who's one of the 7 major princes protected by the Golden Bull. So he's able to, say what he wants. He's an elector. And he gives sanctuary, to Martin Luther. And he tells Charles V, he says, look, this man's going to go on trial, and obviously he's going to be murdered. There's no way that he's going to be safe. Look at Jan Hus. He was murdered. So Charles V agrees and gives trial to Martin Luther in Augsburg, in Germany. And there, on June 15th of 1520, Martin Luther is banned from the church. He is excommunicated. Charles V also then later signs the Edict of Worms, which makes Martin Luther an outcast of the Holy Roman Empire, and his preachings are exiled, his books are burned, all that fun stuff. Then people start making interruptions. They really like Martin Luther. He's been preaching for a long time. He's well known in the community, and his ideas are liked. Indulgences are stupid, anyways. So people start interrupting mass. They start heckling priests. They start smashing stained glass windows. And in 1524, there's a peasants' revolt against the princes. They're unhappy about a lot of things, taxes and all that, whatnot, just like in England. But they come out, and another man by the name of Thomas Munzer comes out, and he tries to blend the religious reform with the peasant revolt. And he denounces both the Catholic Church and both Martin Luther, but the reform idea is there, saying that they're too involved in lay piety, and that it's not about that. So then Charles V makes the Peace of Augsburg in 1555, way down the road. And this pretty much says, it solidifies Protestantism as a real thing, because he says that any of the princes in their provinces are allowed to have the religion of their choice. The religion that they have is the religion of that province. So Catholic, if you're Catholic in a Protestant region, you can move. There's nothing against you, but that's just how it is. And this came out because the princes were fighting with Charles, and he didn't have time for this. The Turks were attacking him on one side. Francis I from France was attacking him on the other. So he had a lot going on. And he just finally made this, and he was just, he was done with it. And that's really how the movement came around for Martin Luther in the German Reformation. And then it traveled all over the place, to Sweden, to Switzerland, to Poland, all through the rest of Europe. Thank you. That's it.